What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook?
What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Kim.
And it's me. I need no introductions.
And this clown is Zay.
Wow. Now I'm a clown.
Anyway, so we are here to actually give you... Oh, gotta take my seatbelt off. We actually working right now, so we had to do this from the car. But you cut my head off and everything. We're actually working, so we had to do this from the car. But we are here to give you guys the review of our Royal Caribbean ship. You guys have been asking for it, and we actually haven't had the time to do it, but we're doing it now. So the first thing I want to start off with is embarkation. Embarkation was very, very smooth. Of course, we came super early, and he'll explain to y'all why we got there so early.
We got there early because my wife messed up the reservation for the rental car.
I ain't messed up nothing. He messed up the reservation. Go ahead.
So yeah, basically what I did was I booked. Well, I didn't have a choice because I booked the flight, and the flight got us to Miami early. So I booked the car so we can get the car as soon as we touch down. So because I picked it up at that time, I had to return it back at the same time to the place when we were dropping it off. So just a learning lesson. You know, I could have just extended it a few hours or whatever the case may be, for next time. That's all it was.
Okay, so when we got there, we were able to jump directly on the ship. That was the good part. Now let me go.
I'll start with the key guest first over here. I'll call this row against the window next, and every row going down like this after. But please remain seated until I come up to each row and tell you to stand up. Please.
Go into the first thing I noticed the differences between Carnival and Royal Caribbean. Let's jump into that. When I got on the boat was beautiful. I mean, they had a rock climbing wall, the flow rider, a carousel. It took me a moment to just realize that I was on a boat, because it did not feel like we were on a boat. So Carnival cannot touch Royal Caribbean on their beauty. They cannot touch them at all on that.
Right.
Now, let's jump into the activities. I'm going to start with Sail Away. The Sail Away, no matter what boat I went on, I don't think anybody can top Carnival Sail Away party. That's just my opinion. I don't think anybody can top it.
The part, I mean, the Royal Caribbean Sail Away wasn't horrible.
It wasn't, but it wasn't jumping like Carnival.
But the part of the reason why is because the crowd, they don't have a big dance floor where the people are able to come to one space and dance. You have several little patches of folks, like the main dance place where the Sail Away party is happening can only fit like 10 people, 15 people, because of the way that the ship is made up. I really think if they're gonna have a Sail Away party, they should move it somewhere else, because up on that main deck, it's not made for a party. There's a big ass hole in the middle of the boat, whereas
He don't mean hole like you gonna drop into the ocean hole.
no, but like you can look down and see the floors down, whereas up on top of the Carnival ship there's a pool there, and then there's a lot of space where people can congregate, and then you got the upper deck where people can go at as well. And I think that's part of the reason why the Royal Caribbean experience was not as good as the Carnival experience.
Now, let's go on to more activities that we were doing on the Royal Caribbean ship. Royal Caribbean and Carnival. The shows, let me go. First of all, Royal had this aqua show. And I was amazed on how good those acrobats, that's the word?
Yeah.
Acrobats were on that Royal Caribbean cruise, because they were jumping up from you look like they just dropped from the sky. And it was wonderful. The ice skating show was wonderful. They was running around in slinkies and all types of other stuff. She had a slinky around her, and it was wonderful. Now, they had a show, what was it? Battle of the Sexes, that I participated in. That was fun. Girls versus women. I believe we really won. They just gave it to
You say
boys.
girls versus women?
I mean, girls versus men. Sorry, women
so
versus men.
They was versus they damn self.
Shut up.
It's me versus
Women
me.
versus men. It was fun. I got to meet a lot of nice people there, so that was fun. Now, they have something called Friendly Feud, which is supposed to be a knockoff of Family Feud. Nah, Carnival got that. Carnival definitely got that, because Carnival actually got the machines, and you could play with your team, and you hit the buzzer. They want you to make animal sounds for when you want to answer it. And then the other lady who was in charge of flipping over the answers, she flipped over everything, so they kept having to go to the next question.
She kept fucking up.
Let's move on to the room. The room that we had in Royal Caribbean, I like Carnival room better. Let me tell you the reason why I say that. Now, Royal Caribbean was a nice room because we had a room looking over the boardwalk. That was beautiful. But the reason why I say I like Carnival room better is because, to me, Carnival had more storage. When we go into Carnival, we got the his and her closet. I got my closet. He got his closet. And just like Royal Caribbean, we had to somehow jam our clothes into one little closet. And he likes to take over everything when it comes with clothes and closets, so I barely had any room for my stuff. So that's the reason why I'm going to give it to Carnival on that. Now, let's move on to food and drinks. The main dining room, it was okay. And in my girl voice, who I love so much, I love you, Queen, and Stanley. It's your boy Stanley. I love you, Lynette. Love y'all. But in Lynette's voice, it was edible. So,
you're not going to go hungry.
Exactly. In her voice, it was edible. So, it was okay. Now, we did have a Caribbean night in the Windjammer. The Windjammer Caribbean night was, it was great. That jerk chicken, that oxtails they had, that was good. So, and then we had, but let's elaborate more on the Windjammer. On embarkation day, don't go to the Windjammer. Everybody trying to wait for their rooms to get ready. So everybody crowds, and plus it's a buffet. So everybody crowds in the Windjammer. Go down to the solarium. It's an adults only. And you can get the same good food.
Which wasn't the case.
But it's supposed to be adults only. But you could get the same food down there. So go to the solarium.
It was people in there with their kids, which didn't make no sense.
But it was still better than going to the Windjammer.
Yeah, it was still better than going to the Windjammer, but it was supposed to be kid-free, and people was coming in.
And let me tell you, it was this place called Park Cafe. My husband loved it. You can elaborate on your move. Elaborate. I can't talk today.
What the hell was that you just said?
On your food on the Park Cafe. Go ahead.
There's a place called Park Cafe when you're going into Central Park, and they have bowls that you can come in and kind of make up your own salad, add your own ingredients, and they have pastries and things like that. I had like 6 of them bowls, man. And I was gonna go again, but this one right here didn't want to go.
Cause I got tired of eating there.
But that was good.
Okay, now let's move on to my specialty dining. We did one specialty dining on Royal Caribbean, and that was 150 Central Park. We actually learned about it from watching Life With Us TV, and I said I wanted to try it.
Yep.
So we went there. It was on my birthday. They sang me happy birthday, which I thought was so sweet.
Right.
But, okay, let's talk about the first thing that I started off with. Well, we started off with, because he's a hater. He got to have what I have.
Damn.
But we started off with the pumpkin bisque. Woo, Ooh, baby. That was absolutely best restaurant we ate at on Royal Caribbean. That pumpkin bisque was so good. Check it. I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin seeds. I don't like pumpkin nothing or whatever you call it. But that pumpkin bisque was wonderful. I was even taking the bread. I never really, anybody that know me know that I don't really eat everything on my plate. But I ate that. And I was taking the bread after I finished it, moving it around the bowl, trying to suck it up. And I wasn't even trying to be ghetto or like what you call it? Unelegant. But it was to the point where I was just like, licking my fingers. It was that good. And then we had what was it? We had got it for $2. You remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, it was a biscuit, not a biscuit. What was it called?
Was it brisket?
Brisket, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a biscuit. What's wrong with me? We
had no damn
that.
biscuit for $2, man.
We had that for $2. That was good.
Don't
top the pumpkin biscuit, but
we gonna look goofy as hell sitting there eating a biscuit for $2. What the hell really going on?
We don't top the pumpkin biscuit, but it was good. Now, dessert. Fried cheesecake. Woo, I'm still thinking about that fried cheesecake.
That fried cheesecake was delicious, man.
Ooh, it was so good. I was like, eating that cheesecake.
Greedy heifer.
Whatever. But it was so good. So, another thing, let me get off the food because I want to go bed. Just get them doggone fried.
You done did a 30-minute segment on food. This is some bullshit.
Let me go. Let's move on to the places that they have and the Allure the Seas. That's the boat we went on. I'm sorry, we forgot to mention. We went on Allure the Seas. They have the boardwalk, which was one of my favorite places to go because the boardwalk was beautiful. The boardwalk was beautiful. Central Park was beautiful. It looks just like, well, they try to make it look like just like New York, but they haven't quite succeeded. But it looked like
you can even
similar.
hear the birds chirping and shit.
Yeah, they have sounds with the birds chirping. It was cool. And then what other place did we go to? It was Central Park, Boardwalk. There was another place I mentioned. I'm missing one.
Of course, we went into the casino.
No, I'm missing an area. Central Park, Boardwalk.
What's the name of the place with the hot dogs?
That was Boardwalk.
Boardwalk. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't remember the last place we went. But we did have fun with the activities on board, which was flow rider. And, you know, the one I told y'all before, the rock climbing wall. I didn't do it because I'm just scary like that. And we went to the, let's move on to the show, not the shows, I already talked about the shows. We did something called the silent party while we were there. That was cool. They put headphones on everybody. You hear the music on your ears. And everybody's in there singing and you dancing. This is what I was wanting to do. You know, dancing to the songs. The silent party was cool. I wanted to add that earlier, but I forgot to add it. But now, since I talked about that, let me elaborate on something that everybody is asking me about. Every time I make a video and I talk about the cruise and I talk about the sign and sell card or your room key, everybody asks me what's a sign and sell card. That's how you open your room. And it's also your onboard expense account. When I say onboard expense account, I mean when you own a boat, you cannot, or a ship, like everybody like to call it.
It's a boat, man.
Whatever. You cannot pay cash for anything while you own the ship. Everything gets charged to your room.
Yep.
So they make you put a card on your account. But my advice to anybody, especially the newbies, don't put your credit card on the account. Because they place a big hole on your credit card. We talking about at least $200, $300 hole on your card. So don't use your credit card.
No.
Definitely. And then we're going to make another video later on after we post this one to tell you guys what to pack, what not to pack.
Yep.
And how to get yourself prepared. But the last thing I want to elaborate on before we end this video is the documents that you're going to need when you're going on a cruise. You're gonna need, well, do yourself a favor. Get a passport, y'all. A passport is so much easier. You go in, they scan your face, you on your way. And you already on the ship. I mean, I went in, they scanned my face, they looked at my passport, and about 5 minutes later, I was on the ship with a drink in my hand.
And not that you want to think about it, but when you get ready to disembark, it's easier to disembark as well.
Because that birth certificate line takes forever.
It does.
But if you do have a birth certificate, get an original birth certificate. You can order it off Vital Records, or you can go to the birth certificate place if you still live in the city that you were born in and state. You go to any birth certificate as long as it's in the state, birth certificate office, as long as it's in the state that you were born in. So just don't bring the birth certificate that you got at birth.
Yeah, leave that one for your mama.
Nah, hey, don't be knocking Stanley. Don't do none of that. Don't bring the birth certificate with the feet. Don't do that. That's not cool. Get your original birth certificate. You're gonna need a birth certificate. If you are bringing a birth certificate, you're gonna need a birth certificate and an ID card.
Yep.
And you good. But it's just so much easier to have a passport. So y'all work with that. These are some of the lessons that we learned, especially being first-time cruisers. So we will see y'all in the next video that I am going to make about, I guess I'll be making that video by myself. In the next video that I am going to make about what to pack and what not to pack. So later, y'all.
Peace.